I'm Titli and this is my busy garden. This week I'm going to do some pruning and I'm going to focus on the east side of the garden. I've got a couple of cherry trees, a big apple tree and a few standard roses. But first, some unfinished business. There we are, some nice fresh peanuts and some nice new fat balls. Titli's Bird Cafe is open for business. Like any good gardening soldier, I have an array of weaponry in my arsenal for pruning. Obviously, I've got my secateurs, I've also got my lovely tree loppers, but third in my arsenal is my alligator. Wait a minute. I'm going to start with this cherry tree, which, as you can see, has lost a lot of its shape. It's really straggly with thin twigs, and I suspect it's never been pruned in its life. What I'm about to do may seem a bit brutal, but it's really designed just to try and restore its shape. So here's my strategy. First, I want to cut down all these long straggly shoots. I want to get rid of some of this overcrowding in the centre of the tree where branches are crossing or very close to one another. And I'll try to cut back to where there's some nice new growth. Now, you see in here there's a branch that kind of curves back on itself. That's going to be the first to go. It's a bit thick for the loppers, so I'm going to go with my alligator. Ooh, that looks better already. I'll just tidy up this collateral damage with my loppers. That's better. Next, I think I'll tackle some of this overcrowding. I'm left with a branch structure that I'm reasonably happy with branches coming out at the sides and not too much overcrowding. So now I'm going to go at some of these horrible wispy leaves, and this looks quite like it's going to be brutal, but it's not. What I'm trying to do is cut back to where there are existing buds. So I'll take that out. You see there's some long straggly shoots here. I'm going to take all those out right down to the bottom. But I'm going to leave this because it's got some nice buds on it. Now, where I've got trailing shoots like this one, I'm trying to cut it back to the second or third bud. And always cut as close to the bud as you can to stop the risk of infection or rot. There's one more bit of brutality required at the top here, and for that I've got my trusty tree lopper. It may look like I've been incredibly brutal to this tree, but actually what I've tried to do is restore some of the symmetry back and give it a more open structure and a chance to bush out a bit more. The next tree requiring the Titli treatment is this cherry tree in the corner, and that's a bit of a tongue twister. As you can see, it's already in flower, but that's not going to stop me. First thing I'm going to do is take out some of these really low branches. That way it'll encourage the branches much higher up to develop. I'll trim these two branches here back as well. What I'm aiming to do is to get these thin twiggy bits on this section of the trunk to become a bit more established and a bit thicker. And finally I'll do a bit of shaping up top here. So it's had some serious pruning down below and some shaping up top. Next up is the apple tree, and last year it had a serious pruning, much to the consternation of my neighbour. And this year I think I'm going to have to take a major branch out again. The objective is to try and get a goblet shape, and somebody once said, you know if you've got it pruned right when you can throw a hat through it. Nope. Time for some action. One of the things that looks really out of place in the goblet shape is actually this big trunk that's now in the middle of the tree. So I'm going to deal with this. Sorted. Now that I've opened the centre of the tree up, I'm going to take out some of these central twigs here and open it up even more. Chop them really close to the branch. There we go. Then I'll go around the tree and take out these downward pointing shoots like this one here and this one. And finally on these leggy shoots I'm going to cut it back to about 3 buds along, cutting really close to the buds. An open structure is really important in an apple tree to get healthy fruit and to get it to ripen properly. So let's do the hat test again. She shoots, she scores. The last tree I'm going to deal with today is the medlar tree, and I'm going to apply the same principle as I did to the apple trees. Now it's the turn of the roses, and the principle is quite simple. Number one, cut out any dead wood, like this bit's here. You can see that these bits here are dead because they're brown, there's no sign of shoots on them. So we'll cut those out right back to the good stem. And then above it, I've got a shoot which is pointing inward, so I'm going to cut that right back. And these, I'm going to count 3 buds, 1, 2, 3, and cut. If it's one thing I hate, it's pruning roses, because the things always bite you. Ow! You SOB! Ooh, ow, pain, pain! I did say I hated pruning roses. Now this rose bush is absolutely evil. Just look at the thorns on it. I've put these gloves on, but to be quite honest, I should be wearing steel gauntlets. I might as well just be wearing newspaper. So here we go. Let's see what we can do with this. These things are so spiky, it's actually quite difficult to see where the buds are in some cases. Da better. As you can see, I'm quite a brutal pruner. Not a bad day's work, really. I think when you're pruning, you have to be a little bit fearless and put your trust in the resilience of trees and shrubs to bounce back. Well, the light's beginning to fade and I've had enough now. And that's the problem with gardening in the winter, is that the days are short and the jobs are long. And I've still got all those fruit bushes in the west of the garden to deal with. I'll leave that till next time. But a nice big soapy bath is calling me now. So, join me next time in Titli's busy garden.